And what I heard, here it is. Buy your wife or your girlfriend or significant other, or, you know, a piece of jewelry of a precious stone style, and you could get yourself a free shotgun. Now, of course, you have to follow all the firearm laws in your particular state, so background checks, licensing, all that kind of stuff if it's necessary in order to get it. But you will get, if you meet all the criteria, a free shotgun with your purchase. Now, that's kind of nice, actually. So you get a. Not only do you get it because you're going to go out and buy yourself a new firearm anyway. Well, now you can actually. It's kind of like couponing, right? Super couponing, with extreme couponing. That's it. So buy a $350 shotgun, get a $1,000 diamond ring for free type of coupon. That's basically what they're saying. So there you go. Check it out. Look it up. Check it out if you're on Florida. And if you are a jeweler or a firearms dealer anywhere else in the country, you might want to consider doing something similar to that next year. You'll probably now understand that gun sales are not hurting. They don't need to do this special thing. That's probably why they're doing it, because gun sales are through the roof this year. I mean, they're breaking records every month, it seems. Now the guns are topping the wish list of many people, including Christians. You know the old saying, "Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition." They're taking it seriously. Now, last month in November, the FBI ran more than 2.2 million firearm background checks, which is a 24% increase from November of 2014. Now, on Black Friday, a record 185,345 background checks were processed by the FBI. And this is because people are, as I mentioned, they have a number of different fears. You know, terrorism and government restriction being the top two reasons. It has nothing, believe it or not, all of this firearm purchasing has very little to do with the Second Amendment. It has everything to do with people's fear for their safety and fear of their government. And for those of you idiots or nut jobs out there that think that, well, you can't fight the government, might I remind you that our country was actually started by those who fought the government. Just saying. Now, I'm not saying start going out there and start firing off and shooting at government employees. No. But people have the opportunity and the right to defend themselves against an overbearing, illegal government or a government doing illegal things to the citizenry. You have a right to protect yourself even from that government. Plain and simple. But first of all, before it gets to that point, you have an even greater power, a power that is more peaceful, at least more physically peaceful, by going into the voting booth and voting for the proper people who are not going to try to usurp your God-given, constitutionally protected rights. Understand, I said God-given, constitutionally protected, not Obama or government-given. Make sure you understand the Constitution does not give you rights. The Constitution was written specifically and states specifically that you already have these rights. This Constitution was written to protect those rights. Just so we get that clear. And this is also due to the fact that you have out in Chicago has more than over 2,800 shootings, gun-related shootings so far. Almost 2,900 shootings to date in Chicago, in the very heavily gun-restricted city of Chicago. So you got people out there, they keep railing Well, we need more gun control. More gun control. We got to stop the gun violence. More gun control. Well, you got gun control in Chicago. You had gun control, severe gun control, hell, it was an outright ban in Washington, D.C. And crime, gun-related crime, was through the roof. Now, gun-related crime in Chicago is going through the roof. I mean, it seems like every at least 3 out of the 4 weekends on an average month, you're hearing about mass shootings in Chicago. I mean, that's just insanity. What are people supposed to do? They're supposed to, while somebody's shooting them in the head, they're supposed to dial 911. That doesn't work. Depending on somebody else for your basic general everyday safety has never worked. Now, again, I am not dissing or dashing on the cops, but as I have explained numerous times in this program, the police they're not designed to prevent crime. They're not. They're designed to uphold the law so that when somebody breaks the law, they're there to bring them back into compliance of the law and, if necessary, afford punishment for breaking the law. They're not there to enforce the law. They're there to uphold it. Because they can't be everywhere. And they shouldn't be out there, pulling over people for a public awareness event and for doing 1 mile over the speed limit. I mean, really? The police chief didn't have better things to be doing? Well, if it's a small town, maybe not. Well, there is very little crime. That's probably a good sign. But they can't be everywhere at once. And if somebody's breaking into your home, I can't tell you how many times I've watched these these reality shows with police and these reality reenactment shows. There was one case in particular that comes to mind. A man broke into this woman's home. Not later, as we find out, the man was a rapist. And this man breaks into this woman's home. She tries to run and hide. She calls 911. But the area that she lives in is a rural area, and it's late at night. The nearest officer, be it state, county, or local, the nearest officer happened to be a sheriff's deputy. Even at the speed he was going, he was 20 minutes away. I think this happened in Georgia. He was 20 minutes away. Now, when there's an emergency call like that, as safely as he can possibly do it, he or she, that officer, is putting the pedal to the metal. I mean, late at night, they are flying. Now, granted, he's also taking putting his life at risk doing this, going an excessive amount of speed. Not to mention in a rural area, what happens if a deer runs out in front of this cop and he's doing 70 miles per hour? Well, boom. That's a lot of damage to a vehicle and possibly death to the cop. But needless to say, he is booking his you-know-what down these country roads to get to this woman, and he's still 20 minutes away. She has no other protection for herself. Not a dog, not a gun, not even a knife. By the time he gets there, it's too late. And the reason it was on this show is because I remember distinctly they were looking for the guy because he had already committed a similar rape. Breaking and entering and raping. Unfortunately, this time, this woman did not survive. So the rape turned into murder. Now, I'm telling you, cops are not there to prevent crime. To protect yourself, that is your responsibility. You cannot put that off on somebody else. And a growing number of Americans are realizing this, and they're taking their self-protection, the protection of themselves, their family, their property, their community, very seriously, and this is why you're seeing an uptick of gun sales. Now, you have to understand, it's not the same people going back buying multiple guns. It's people who have not owned a gun before who are coming forward to purchase a gun. So in other words, the base of gun owners in this country is growing exponentially. And that is what is fueling this rise over the past 3 years of increased gun sales month over month, year after year. It's incredible. Because people understand that they have to take care of themselves. They have to protect themselves because government can't do it. They've failed to do it. And there are 14 people in California that now realize it, although it's too late for them. And this whole notion of gun control is only going to succeed in taking guns out of law-abiding citizens who can no longer protect themselves. And more events like that woman in a rural part of Georgia is going to be the sad victim. It's not just women. Guys can be the victims and are victims of violent personal crime as well. From rape to assault. Doesn't matter. The only thing that allows you to level the playing field, as it were, is to at least have the opportunity and the chance to defend yourself. And a firearm gives just about everyone who can legally possess one that chance. And I, for one, will never, ever see the need to limit legal, law-abiding citizens from gaining access to legal firearms. Now, why do I keep saying illegal? Not because, well, let's face it, government wants to make more and more types of firearms illegal. I'm not saying that that's a logical step because that's not. What I am saying instead is that you have the ability, you have the God-given right to use whatever weapon that is available to you to protect your life and the life of those around you, innocent life. Plain and simple. And nobody has the right to restrict your ability to protect and preserve your life, the life of your family, or the life of other innocents. Nobody. Not even the government. Not a single human being on the planet has that right. By the way, did you know that dancing? Here's a story for you. Maybe this explains all these new dance craze exercise videos by all these programs, by all these dancing, or by all these physical fitness gurus out there. Did you know that dancing research, and this is from CBS Philly, Philadelphia.cbslocal.com, and I kind of already knew this, but now there's research that says that finds dancing burns more calories than cycling, running, or swimming. And with the holiday season upon us, you can probably get your dance on a lot more, but just dance around your house, folks. Dance around your house. That'll help you get into shape and fulfill that new resolution to get in better shape. Just dance. It's a lot more fun than running, too. Ugh, running. Yeah.